Good day, everyone. My groupmates and I were going to discuss the self from the perspective of anthropology. First and foremost, this is for educational use only. Our group is allowed by our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as an educational material. Anthropology. Anthropology investigates the concept of the self through diverse culture perspective, examining how individuals form their identities within societies. This analysis considers cultural norms, values, benefits, and social interaction that shapes one's sense of self. Anthropologists explore variation in self-concepts across cultures, from collective frameworks emphasizing group identity to individualistic cultural valuing personal autonomy. Additionally, this study rites of passage, rituals, and social practices that impact self-development expression across different cultural contexts. Anthropology, the self is crucial for understanding human societies and cultures. It offers insights to how individuals shape their identities with diverse culture contexts. This explores the complexity of the self, emphasizing its role in shaping cultural practices, beliefs, and social interactions. Anthropologists aim to unravel these complexities by examining different cultural frameworks and worldviews. So this time, we're going to explain the self and the persons, exploring the concept of selves in different cultural contexts. So different cultures have a various perspective on the self and personhood. Western societies emphasize individualism, where personal identities is defined by achievements and attributes. Non-Western cultures, especially collectivist ones, see the self in relations to community and prioritize group harmony. Indigenous cultures they view the self holistically, interconnected with nature and spirituality. Anthropologists study these diverse views to understand how culture values shape the self.
Ferrandi's framework explain how cultural differences shape self-perception through individualism and collectivism. Individualism emphasizes personal autonomy while collectivism prioritizes group harmony. These cultural values influence self-perception, social behavior, and interpersonal relationships, suggesting that individualism from different backgrounds have a distinct self-contrast.
Good day, so I'm a relativist and my topic is Filipino self-embedded in culture, introducing the concept of pantayong pananaw. Pantayong pananaw is a Filipino term encapsulating the concept of a holistic perspective or integral view deeply ingrained in Filipino culture. This philosophy underscores the interconnectedness, harmony, and balance required to comprehend the world and address societal challenges. In essence, Pantayong Pananaw recognizes the intricate relationships between individuals, communities, nature, and the spiritual realm. It posits that the well-being of one facet of life is intricately tied to the well-being of others. This philosophy urges individuals to consider multiple dimensions: social, cultural, economic, environmental, and spiritual when analyzing problems and seeking solutions. It advocates for inclusivity, empathy, and collective action to achieve sustainable development and social justice. Pantayong Pananaw functions as a guiding principle for Filipinos, influencing how they navigate relationship with others, their environment, and themselves. It emphasizes the significance of respecting diversity, preserving cultural heritage, and fostering sense of solidarity among communities. Ultimately, it reflects the profound wisdom and values embedded in Filipino culture, grounded in a profound understanding of interconnectedness and harmony.
The Salazar concept of labas in Filipino psychology emphasizes the external or outward dimension of the self. It involves the societal rules, interactions, and the influence of the external environment on an individual identity. Labas underscores the significance of external factors in shaping one's sense of self within the Filipino cultural context. In Salazar perspective, labas extends beyond mere physical appearance to include social rules, expectations, and relationships. It highlights the interconnectedness between an individual and their external surrounding, emphasizing the dynamic interplay between the self and the broader social cultural context in Filipino psychology. And then concept of love delves into the internal dimension of the self in Filipino psychology. It encompasses the inner realm of thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and personal values. Love reflects the intrinsic aspect that contribute to one identity, providing a nuanced understanding of the internal dynamics shaping an individual within the Filipino cultural context. In Salazar perspective on love, underscore the significance of introspection and self-awareness. It suggests that understanding one's internal world, including emotion and values, is crucial for a comprehensive grasp of Filipino identity and psychology. Love reflects the depth of personal experience and the intricate interplay of internal factors that shapes an individual's worldview. Lastly, Zeus Salazar concept of lalim in Filipino psychology goes beyond the external and internal dimensions, exploring the deeper layers of the self. Lalim encompasses existential and spiritual aspect, delving into profound dimensions of one's identity. It adds a philosophical depth to the understanding of the self in Filipino culture, acknowledging the significance of existential reflections and spiritual connection in shaping a personal, holistic identity. In Salazar perspective about lalim, it encourages contemplation of the existential and spiritual dimension, highlighting their influence on an individual's sense of self. This concept suggests that a comprehensive understanding of one's identity involved exploring a profound aspect beyond the surface, contributing to a richer and more nuanced perspective within the framework of Filipino psychology.
Ivan Siscon. Understanding the interconnectedness between the individual community. The individual and the community is a fundamental aspect of human existence. It refers to the reciprocal relationship between individuals and the communities which they live. In the individual level of our action, beliefs, and behavior are influenced by the community we belong to. We are shaped by the cultural norms, values, and social interaction within our community. Our sense of identity, values, and goals are often derived from our interaction with others. On the other hand, individuals also have the power to impact their communities. Our action, whether positive or negative, can have ripple effects that extend beyond ourselves. By actively participating in community activities, contributing to social causes and fostering meaningful relationships. Individuals can help shape and improve their communities.
So, good day guys. Today I am going to resume on discussing about the topic Pantayong Pananaw under how cultural values and beliefs influence the Filipino concept of self. Pantayong Pananaw, translated as we-centric view, is a fundamental concept in Filipino psychology and culture. It signifies a way of understanding oneself not as an isolated individual, but as an intrinsically connected and defined by one's relationship and community. This perspective is deeply rooted in cultural values and beliefs, shaping the very essence of the Filipino itself. So, here are the values and beliefs intertwined with Pantayong Pananaw. So, first is we have kapwa, or what we call in English, shared humanity. Filipinos believe in a shared essence that binds them together. This sense of kapwa fosters empathy, compassion, and a strong sense of belongings. The self is just not I, but we as an individual strive to maintain harmony and uphold the well-being of the group. So, next is we have pakikisama or conformity. Filipinos value social harmony and prioritize maintaining good relationship. This leads to a tendency towards pakikisama or fitting in the group. So, the self is shaped by the need to conform to groups or norms and expectations, leading to a strong sense of collectivism. So, next is utang na loob or debt of gratitude. The concept utang na loob emphasizes the obligation to reciprocate favor and kindness. This creates a network of interconnectedness where the self is understood through its debts and obligations to others. This fosters interdependence and strengthens the community. Next is hiya or shame. So many Filipinos avoid shaming themselves or others to maintain social harmony. This concept of hiya influences self-presentation and behavior. This self is mindful of how action reflect on the group, shaping decision-making and social interactions. So, those values that I have mentioned are dynamic and may vary across individuals and regions, but they offer a glimpse into how Pantayong Pananaw shapes the Filipino self. It's a self that is relational, interdependent, and constantly seeks to balance individual aspirations with communal harmony. So, next is we are going to continue on discussing about breaking down the layers of self under external, internal, and deeper dimensions. The concept of labas, loob, at lalim beautifully complements Pantayong Pananaw in understanding the Filipino self. While Pantayong Pananaw focused on communal and relational aspects, labas, loob, at lalim dives deeper into the individual's internal layers. So, now let's break them down. So first is labas or outer self. This refers to the external visible aspects of oneself presented to the world. It encompasses physical appearance, behavior, social rules, and public expressions. This layer is heavily influenced by societal norms and the desire to maintain pakikisama, which I mentioned earlier. So, think of it as the mask we wear in social interactions. So, loob, or inner self, represents the internal realm of thoughts, emotions, values, and motivations. It's more private and less readily accessible to others. It's where kapwa and utang na loob deeply influence decision-making and emotional responses. So, next is lalim, or depth of self. This is the deepest core of the individual, encompassing one's essence, spirit, and connection to something larger than oneself. It's often associated with kaluluwa or soul and buddhi or conscience. Lalim is less influenced by external pressure and reflects the most authentic and enduring aspects of the self. So, here's how these layers interact. So, labas is influenced by loob, values, and desires, but may not always reflect them accurately. Loob is shaped by experiences and interaction in the labas, but also harbors deeper motivation and emotions. So, lalim provides the foundation for both loob and labas, guiding the individual's overall being. So, this framework, like pantayong pananaw, is not rigid. The boundaries between layers are fluid, and each individual navigates them differently. However, understanding labas, loob, and lalim offers a profound insight in the complexities of the Filipino self, revealing the interplay between outer expression, inner experiences, and the deepest core of being. So that's the end of my topic. Thank you.
So how these dimensions shape Filipino identity and behavior? So Filipino identity and behavior are shaped by historical, cultural, societal, economic, and political factors. Colonization and resistance foster resilience. Cultural values like bayanihan and hiya impact social dynamics. Socio-economic factors such as poverty and migration affects work ethic and family life. Political events influence attitudes toward authority and societal engagement. These dimensions interact to create a multifaceted Filipino identity and behavior.
In anthropology, culture plays a significant role in shaping an individual's understanding of self. For example, cultural norms, beliefs, values, and practices influence how individuals perceive themselves within their social and cultural context. This impact manifests in various ways, including self-concept, identity formation, and interpersonal relationships. Cultural frameworks dictate acceptable behaviors, rules, and expectations, which individuals internalize and incorporate into their self-concept. Additionally, cultural variations in concepts such as collectivism versus individualism or notion of hierarchy and power dynamics significantly shape self-identity. Anthropological studies often explore how cultural differences influence self-perception, emphasizing the dynamic relationship between culture and the understanding of self.
So this time, we're going to emphasize the significance of cultural perspective in shaping individual identity. So, recognizing the significance of a cultural perspective in shaping individual identities reveals how one's sense of self is modeled by the norms, values, and traditions of the cultural context. This dynamic interplay illustrates that identity is influenced not only by internal factors but also by external cultural forces. By acknowledging the role of cultural identity formation, anthropologists develop a richer understanding of the diverse and complex human experience across various societies.